Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is Broadway's most successful non-musical play and still crushing records at the Lyric Theater. And Cara Ricketts plays Hermione. We had a chance to chat. Have you always been in love with the world of Harry Potter?
No.
No? I like that. I like the honesty.
Even a little bit. My family was.
Okay.
They were all Potterheads, and my boyfriend is. And when he found out that I had booked the part, he immediately got me Hermione's wand. And I was like, this is great. I don't know what it is. Like, there's a lot of learning about the wizarding world, which I love because I'm learning it from the people around me as opposed to usually if I were to do Shakespeare or something, you're reading the resource materials and you're trying to learn the thing. But here people will whisper things that are super important to them and what it means for them and then trying to situate that in the world of it. So that's been a nice part of joining the company.
Well, you're on a learning curve along the way and seeing what ebbs and flows with the audience too, because this is an audience that, there's generations now that have grown up with it, moms, kids, and so that's kind of neat to see, and then who they relate to, right?
Absolutely.
As a character.
Absolutely. What I love about the show is I went to see the show in order to learn about the wizarding world, and I was able to keep up with the story because it's so universal. It's about a father and his relationship with his son, a son's relationship with his father in the world being so incredibly famous as Harry Potter. But it was also so much fun to sit with an audience and have people applaud when certain characters show up. And then I'd have to whisper to my boyfriend, who is that? So it's nice to feel almost familial. There's something really cool about a modern classic, which is what this play is, that so many people celebrate it, and they celebrate storytelling, and that's so special.
And especially, it came from a book, it wasn't it was a movie, yes, but it came from a book. And I think there's something special with that nowadays when we're moving so quickly, that people sat down and they imagined it first, and maybe that's where that depth of character.
And it was also around the time where we were having conversations about how relevant reading was.
Mm-hmm.
We were really worried about how image-based we were becoming. Instagram was just taking off, a lot of social media was taking off, and the attention span just seems to be getting shorter and shorter. So to have people fall in love with written word and use their imaginations was spectacular. It's the wizarding world. It's the fact that you can read the book, you can go see the play, and then you can perform it with your class. There's a full exploration of the imagination that it hasn't happened in forever, really, you put down, and then you can still also play Harry Potter on your gaming station. So there's still access to it in many different forms, but you can touch base with it in that superhuman way of theater and performance and reading, which is nice.
I went to Universal with my nephew, who was really young at the time, went to the Harry Potter, and I felt like a kid. I feel like a lot of the adults come in there and feel like a kid again, along with their kids.
Yeah, my whole family went. I wasn't able to go, but
It's
they came
very
back.
cool.
It seemed
It's
really
so
great.
cool.
My sister was talking about getting chosen for her wand, and
Oh, wow.
they all came back with chocolate frogs and the
It's
cards.
great.
It was fantastic.
It really is, and the wizard shop where you go in there, all the shelves are to the side. It's very cool.
It's nice.
They did a really
the
good
theater
job.
has a little taste of that too. When we enter into the second act, without giving anything away, all of the things that you are available to purchase and experience off stage changes with the show too, and I love that. It's just interactive in a completely different way.
How do you relate to your character?
I love her. She's
everybody does.
Yeah, but she's a dorky girl who cares about her friends, who also cares about her me time so that she can research the world that she's in, and she's a know-it-all a little bit, but she bends. She's not strict in what she believes in, and she's also an adventurer. And so when her friends are like, let's go on an adventure, she's right there with them, and she's willing to take chances. So yeah, she's easy to love. She's really easy to love.
Have you talked to other Hermiones about the role? Did you watch the movies? Did you have to read the book, or did you just talk to your family and boyfriend?
I read about up to the third book.
Okay.
I'm still making my way through
Okay.
the books. I've spoken to one Hermione, but I'd like to speak to a few of the other ones. And then there's also 2 swings on the show who are going through it, our journey on the show. I can't help but liken it to playing one of Shakespeare's classical heroines, or even Hedda Gabler, and it's really cool to check in with other actresses and ask them what they thought about like how do they come to the piece and what they choose to do with it. So it feels bigger than just a regular show in that way, which is really nice.
Is it called the timetable that you turn back? Time turner.
Yeah.
What would you do if you could really experience a time turner?
Oh my gosh, I'd either get into a lot of trouble or I wouldn't touch it at all. I can see myself turning back to the 20s because I want to hang out with Josephine Baker and do all that stuff. Or maybe turn back to like the hippies culture. I don't know if I'd want to stay long. Like there's a lot of things. I would turn back to ancient Egypt just to see what that was like, or turn back to like when Nikola Tesla was around and see if I could get his attention.